Paranormal Karen, she's so spooky. Paranormal Karen, funny too. Paranormal Karen, she's so spooky. Oh, and did I mention she's funny too? Yeah, cha-cha-cha.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Paranormal Karen. Special guest today. Very excited. It's June. It should be June 18th. Y'all know I tape way ahead of time, so it could be another date, but pretty sure it's June 18th. I should be full on in my show in Cape Cod at Tin Pan Alley. Please check my Instagram, which is at Rontowski, or my Facebook page will have it. That's just Karen Rontowski. I don't find Facebook as fun. And also, for all the news, please sign up for my newsletter at karenrontowski.com. I think I've covered everything. Then you can get a reading there, blah, 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 blah. So let's jump right in. I know, you know what, Diane, but my Diane is my guest today. I haven't even done the intro and I'm already talking to her. I just, sometimes podcasts go on way too long in the beginning. So I like to jump right in. Too many promos. Okay. Diane Martinez, I'm learning my Spanish. I was trying to roll that R. It didn't go well. Is my friend, I got a massage from her. I got the greatest massage. And if you are in the sort of Riverside to Burbank to she drives to you and does an amazing job. So if you're in California, you're going to want to contact her about that. That was such a great day. Best massage ever.
Thank you.
Then we started talking out-of-body experiences. And you're kind of an out-of-body experience expert, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, expert. I've been practicing for a couple of years and reading and learning as much as I can.
That's great. And I don't know if that even, it's almost like tarot. I don't know that there's an expert, but we'll take that title, right? So, and you do all kinds of magical things too. So we're going to get to all of that.
All right.
So tell me, what first got you interested in this? Did you have an out-of-body experience? Did you just become obsessed with it? How did it all start?
So I had always been interested in the paranormal and learning about like ascension and everything. And then I was, I think always interested in like NDEs, like listening to them, OBEs. They were just so fascinating. And one day I was walking into my local, like crystal shop, and they have like books, esoteric books. And right on the shelf was, how to OBE, like, breaking it down. And I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. So, I got it. I read the book. It took me about a year to read the book, and I'm a really fast learner. It was just so much information and in depth. And, learning how and practicing, I had started having experiences, and it's been a couple years of so many different experiences, OBE experiences, astral projection, just like energy experiences, just so much. It's amazing.
You know, it's interesting because in tarot, the Seven of Wands, where he is, he's on the hill and he's sort of, the six wands are like people beneath him fighting him, and then he's the seventh. The seventh is actually the symbol of the seventh sense, which is astral projection, or being able to leave your body at will. So congratulations. You're the Seven of Wands. Yay.
Yeah. All right.
So now starting, so this book, which it almost sounds great that it took a year.
Yeah.
Because this feels like one of those things, like so many things in the paranormal, that you shouldn't jump right in. Did you have any, before we get to the actual experiences, did you have any fears or any warnings? Or like, my worry would be, how do you watch over your body and make sure nothing else comes in?
Yeah. So actually, no, I don't think I was really scared of anything. I've been pretty open. But yeah, I didn't really have any fears. And then that later, like, you have literally nothing to worry about when you're astrally. And same as like, you don't worry about your body when you're sleeping. Like, you know, for the most part, your body's safe. So it's the same exact thing when you're astral traveling. You're fine. But like, nothing can happen to you. Nobody can hurt you. You can't die. Nobody can go into your body. Like, nothing bad can happen.
That's an excellent analogy. You don't worry about your body when you sleep. No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. So you're reading this book, and are you learning exercises, or is there a way to practice this?
Yeah, so there's different exercises. You're learning about energy work. And I was like bringing like, so this book was like a main one, and then just bringing like a whole bunch of OBE books, and different exercises together to kind of like make it work for me too. But yeah, there's exercises you learn about energy. Um, yeah. Do you want me to tell you like the main energy one that you have to work on?
I would love that. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So the main one that you want to work on every day, like several times a day. So the technique is called the Velo technique. Okay, so there's a couple. So it's called absorption and exteriorization. So the exteriorization, you're going to be imagining like every pore on your body, you're going to have energy pouring out from the inside all the way out and pushing that energy out. So like right now I'm in my room. So I'm going to have energy pouring out through every pore of my body and pushing all that energy out of my room. So like any negative energy, any stagnant energy, you're pushing that all out. So that's exteriorization. Then you want to do
that's a great exercise anyways. Just
using
your light from within to push everything negative out.
Yes. Exactly. You could use that for like people and different things. It's amazing. And then interiorization is the reverse. So you're going to be bringing in energy through every single pore. So that's interiorization. So you want to work on those like every single day. But before bed, I would say about 5 minutes each. So 5 minutes interiorization, 5 minutes exteriorization. And then the Velo technique is also how you raise your vibration too. So let's say you're laying down flat. You're going to start from the top of or the bottom of your feet, and you're going to go up to like a few inches above your head to like your aura almost. So you're going to move the energies from the bottom of your feet slowly up your legs, your knees, your waist, up your stomach, through your chest, through your heart, through your neck, through your chin, through your mouth, your eyes, your pineal gland, the top of your head, and a little bit above. So you're moving those energies up slowly, and then you're moving them down slowly. And eventually you're going to start going faster and faster until you get to a really high vibration. So that's a technique too right there that can get you out. But then that's also an intro technique. After that, you could try different ones. And with the Velo technique is great too, because you can also see where you have blocks in your body. If you go to like, I usually get blocks in my stomach sometimes. So you'll feel, once you get used to the energies, you'll feel the energy kind of slow down a little bit. And you want to like maybe place your hand on there and just push those energies through. So it's a great technique for raising your vibration and then also seeing where you have blocks.
You know, that's it's funny. And folks, I hope that the traffic or the little doggy outside barking is not coming through. If so, just ignore it. Are you hearing it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, great. Okay, because it's a Saturday and the whole entire city of Los Angeles seems to be outside of my apartment building. And I don't think I can do anything about that right now. You know, it's very interesting because the body scan, not that I didn't know about it, but I always pay attention when something gets mentioned to me 2 or 3 times. And so so this energy is just bringing light up through your feet above your head and then back down. And it's almost like, and you want it to go fast, like a copy machine, faster and faster, which is exactly what my friend told me to do the body scan with. And this is also just a great way to get familiar with the aches or what feels weak in your body in a different way, isn't it?
Yeah. And also getting used to what energy feels like. Like if you've never worked with energy, it's kind of hard to explain. And like the only way you can explain it is by doing it and learning what it feels like in your body.
Okay, so let's say you're at this point, you've been doing your energy exercises, you're sort of, what I want to say, in control of your energy. Did you find that helped out in regular life, whether it was controlling your moods or controlling other people that didn't have boundaries, that sort of thing?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely getting your vibration up. And also too, like the empath thing, most people are empaths. And that's where the exteriorization is good too, is pushing any energy or negative energy that is not yours and pushing it out of you. And having that high vibration too also naturally kind of blocks you too. So it's really great.
That is nice. So people, this is a weird question, but I always find when I have some sort of energetic shift, people address me differently. I don't know if did you notice that? Did you feel like your outside life shot up a level, or maybe I'm dreaming?
No, honestly, I mean, that makes sense. I just maybe never paid attention to it like that. I mean, but what I can say is that since I learned about this and started working on my energy, how much more positive and I guess more positive my life has been, So that for sure, I saw a difference in that.
That's fantastic. Okay, so you're doing the energy exercises. What is the next step?
Okay, so you could just work on that. So keep doing that. And also with the energy exercises, you're also trying to get into the theta state. The theta state is, okay, so alpha is like right now we're talking and awake. Beta is like if you're driving for a long time, like your body's still awake, but your mind's kind of out of it. And theta is a hypnagogic state, which is between awake and asleep. So that's where you're also trying to get into. So the Velo technique helps you to get out of your body. The theta state is great because that's where you can get a lot of contact too from your spirit guides, your higher self.
Interesting. I didn't mean to interrupt you there. It's no. So that's beta, BETA is the one you want to be in, right? That's the dream? So theta.
It's theta, yeah, THETA.
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
Now the one beta is the one where you're driving, right? And you're kind of that's very interesting. I actually watched a show on the brain, and they talked about how when you're driving, you and this can be very scary too. And I'm a terrible driver, so it's doubly as scary. That's why I don't want a new car, because I ding cars and then I feel terrible. Every car I've had has gotten dinged or hit in the first week I've had it.
Oh wow.
I know. It's almost like the universe taking the pressure off of me. Like, see, don't worry. It's going to be fine. Yeah. We've already hit it once.
Yeah.
And then I feel free to hit other people without feeling bad. I watched this and they were talking about how the brain, when you're driving, if you were when you might change lanes, and then a minute later you're like, I don't remember checking my rearview mirror when I changed that lane. And if it's me, I probably didn't. But if it's someone that's a better driver, they talk about how the brain did it without you knowing, or it didn't make a note. So you really did do it. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Exactly. It's so true. It's crazy. I used to, I live in Riverside and I drive back and forth from LA all the time. So you kind of check out almost, because your body already knows where you're going. You know exactly which exit you're going off of. So yeah, it's crazy. Like your body and mind kind of checks out, or your mind checks out a little bit, but your body knows what to do. It's the craziest thing.
I don't know if there's an answer to this question, but sometimes when you get out of a car that you've driven like that, I always say I feel like I got out of a spaceship. Like there's a buzzing and a something, and you can't quite calm yourself down. So would is the beta state actually is it a relaxing state, or is it actually a chaotic state?
Oh man, I would think it's more relaxing. I don't think it's chaotic. No.
So alpha is the most aware. We're in alpha right now.
Yes.
And then is there one above alpha? Like I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm like, what is the chaotic state? What is the line at the DMV state?
Not that I'm aware of. So maybe alpha is a chaotic state because we're in this life right now. And I guess I would consider also theta to be the most relaxing state. And that's also the higher vibration state. And that's why spirit guides and different aliens or whatever can contact us during theta, because our alpha state is such a low vibration. It's really hard for them to get into our daily waking life. And that's why you have more contact in theta.
Yeah, that makes sense. And theta also, I'm guessing it's like when you have a painkiller, or you have I like when I say microdose mushrooms, And the first time I did that, it was like I didn't realize how much stress was in my body until it was gone. Like I didn't realize how tight. And so that must be theta. So do you think?
And
go ahead.
Sorry. Also, too, that kind of sounds like you were almost having an OB right then and there, because the same thing when you OB, like you don't feel your body. And I've also mentioned that it is almost like taking a painkiller. You don't feel that body sensations. It's the craziest thing. So maybe your body was kind of almost on the way. That's what it kind of sounds like to me.
I love that, because I think that it could be a state of sort of being next to or around. You know what I mean? Like you're not in the moment. That's why all these grounding exercises and all this other stuff, I need them all the time, because when I read tarot cards, I do 4 or 5 hours a day. And that, and I wonder, could the brain because some people, like I had a friend that would literally see spirits, where to the point where she couldn't, sometimes she couldn't differentiate between who was real and who wasn't until the spirits faded. Do you think she would have been in a range of, can you be in a range, two of them at the same time?
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe you could, because I also think that's like meditation too. You're kind of dipping into theta, but you're awake at the same time. But meditation, you're not like, I mean, you could be walking around, but not really. So maybe she could, but it does sound like, because in theta you see a lot of stuff in theta. But honestly, I don't know, because I'm not psychic. I don't see ghosts like that during my waking times. Right. I mean, I did see one disappear. I think I told you in my room once. Yeah. But that was only one time.
That's, you know what? Sometimes one is enough.
Yeah.
When you're not ready, one is enough. It's like I just got my, well, you might know some of this. I just got a little piece of malachite, which, by the way, is right. It's huge on TikTok. People are crying. Oh, I smell it.
Yes.
Like it's weird.
I saw one and I was scared. I didn't want to get it.
Right.
Scared.
Because they're almost making it sound like archangels, like the talk I had with my other friend about how it's so intense. So I got a little one, which, by the way, it's so expensive now. It's ridiculous. And I got it from a friend. And so I'm going to try it. But I forgot what I was talking about. All right. Who knows? All right. Well, that'll be my next journey. I'll let you know.
Let me know.
Yes. I had a wonderful healing. And I always say I'm not a medium yet. And I had a wonderful healing from a shaman who was immediate, like, oh, no, you're a medium. And you're probably a better medium than a tarot reader. Like you don't know it yet. So that's what I'm going to put in my malachite to help make me the best medium ever.
All right. Or I should probably do the same then. Yeah.
So maybe we'll have a full malachite episode where there are ghosts walking around in my house talking to me. But But all right, hang on one second. We're going to take a break, and we're going to move a little more on theta, and then out of our bodies. Hold on, folks. Hey, everybody, just a quick update. I will not be at Tin Pan Alley in Cape Cod, at least not in the beginning of June. So keep your fingers crossed that I can change that announcement, or maybe even next year you'll see me there. But right now, that date has been postponed. I am restarting my psychic stand-up show at Flappers the 4th Thursday of every month, which is very exciting. And also, if you're in the LA area, you can see me headlining there July 24th. I'll keep you updated on that. Other than that, you can go to my website, karenrontowski.com or paranormalkaren.com, and book a reading or check out my videos. And hey, don't be afraid to drop me an email. I love to hear from you guys. Maybe suggest a guest, maybe tell me your favorite guest, maybe tell me to shut up. Either way, karenrontowski.com. Let's get back to the podcast. So we're back, and so we ended on theta, and you talked about meditation, which not only is that a great, in fact, I can't wait to hear how you return to your body, because when I finish all those readings, and it's usually I read Monday through Thursday, by the time I get to Thursday and the last reading has happened, my brain is done. And it's a strange state of mind that I can't quite get out of. So let's backtrack. So you did your exercises, you got your energy working, you know your states that your mind's supposed to be in. So what's the next step?
Okay, so you can keep working on velo. Then you could start the different exercises. There's so many different exercises to practice. So there's a candle one, there's a mirror one, there's like doorway one, there's a rope one. There's so many different ones. So let me explain the candle. No, well, the candle one, you have to do it before kind of bedtime.
The mirror would obsess me.
The mirror one too. So you want to do these. Well, I usually practice before bed, but it doesn't matter. You can practice during the day. So for the mirror one, you want a full length mirror. You want to get in a chair about 6 feet away from the mirror. And you always want to be, when you're practicing OBEs, you always want super comfortable clothing, because you don't want nothing bothering you or touching your skin. Because if you actually do OBE and you're uncomfortable, you'll come back to your body. So you want super comfortable clothes. So you sit in the chair facing yourself. You want to look at yourself, look at your hair, look at your clothes, look at your face, and notice every detail about you. And then eventually, once you got like all your details of yourself down, you want to start imagining, start looking at your eyes, and start imagining that mirror is you. That your consciousness is in that mirror. So that's you, and keep focusing that mirror is you, and that your astral body is in that mirror. And so that like kind of activates your astral body to leave your body and to start floating away from your body towards the mirror. So that's a really good one too.
And have you, I think I know the sensation that you're talking about.
And I swear everybody's had OB's astrals. They just don't know the sensations exactly. So I know you have had them. But go ahead, tell me.
I actually did have an out-of-body experience once when I was meditating an hour a day. I was pretty miserable, and I was like, I'm going to be happy no matter what. I'm going to learn. And I did, and I was asleep, and I woke up, and the back of my head was banging. It was banging on something, but it didn't hurt at all. And then I think I felt it, or I was like, it was like a popcorn, like and I didn't know this at the time, but I had a popcorn ceiling. You know those ceilings that are like bubbly.
A bubbly, yes, exactly.
Yeah, and then I looked, and I was looking at something, and I was like, that's my notebook where I write jokes. What's going on? And then I realized I was facing it. So I was like, I'm on the ceiling. I'm drifting across the ceiling, and my head is bumping against the popcorn ceiling. And then I looked over and saw my body, and I went, oh, I'm dead. And when I did that, I flew back into my body so fast that it almost kind of hurt.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you get scared, if you get really excited, you will instantly go back to your body.
Oh, it's a safety mechanism. That's good. Okay.
Yeah, yes. So, and another thing, too, I want to say, most people... so you know that sensation when you're you feel like you're falling when you're falling asleep and you like jerk awake?
Yes.
Okay, that is your astral body leaving your body. Everybody's felt that. Every single body has felt that, and they jerk awake. So that is your astral body leaving. So what you want to kind of get used to, I still cannot get used to the feeling. Instead of jerking awake, you want to keep letting your astral body fall, and it's naturally leaving. So your body, like, keep falling with it, and that will take you straight into OBE.
It's also a great thing when you're really mad at your boyfriend and you just kick him and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, my astral body. I was scared by my astral body. Are you okay?
Oh, my God.
All right. So I kind of love the mirror exercise. And you're not going into the mirror, but you're like, that sounds like done at like dusk. It could be very... very interesting. I might try that one. Although it feels a little Bloody Mary-ish at the same time. But mirrors are a little creepy to me. And anybody over 50 knows they're really creepy when you start looking at your butt in the mirror.
They start getting really scary.
Yes, that's what my friend Lamont says. He says, never looked at my butt all my life. Turned 50. It's all I keep looking at.
Oh my God.
So tell me about the first time you really had this work. Like you did your exercise, you did that, and you were really out of your body. Let's get to the good part.
Okay. So my first time was amazing. And that's another thing too that I love about the OBE astral experience. Every single time is so different, and every single time you learn something new. So, but the first time was amazing. So the first time that I did it, I ended up in a coworker's body. And yes, girl, yes. I ended up in a coworker's body at my old job. It was a grocery store. And I saw and heard, so she was talking to another coworker, and there was another coworker to the side, and I heard their conversation. And it was crazy. So I was in one coworker's body. I was facing, she was facing, I say it like I was in her body. I was looking out through her eyes.
Oh, so you're seeing through her eye. Okay. So I want to, because you can't, so you were both in her body? Because then that scares me again. But so
I know. So I don't think I did not take over her body or anything. I was just seeing through her eyes. Or maybe I wasn't in her body. Maybe I was right next to her. But it looked like I was seeing through her eyes. But she was absolutely in full control. When I talked to her later, she didn't even notice I was in there, you know?
Wow. By the way, I was in your body today. What time is your break?
I know. And my co-workers are like, oh, wow, you know, like, but, so anyways, I asked them later, like, did this happen? And they said, yeah, you know, that what I had saw and heard did happen.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I was facing another coworker, and she was leaning against, a stand where we keep food, and her arms were crossed. And there was another coworker to the left, and, they made a kind of a joke about her, like making fun of her. And I saw, like, I heard the girl that I was in, like, kind of laughing. Like, she didn't really want to laugh, but she was laughing. And then my friend was, like, kind of laughing too, but I could tell that she didn't like the joke, but whatever, she was just playing. I couldn't see the girl to the left. I thought it had started with the A, and I asked my other friend, like, hey, did this happen? And was it this person with the A? And she said, no, it wasn't that person with the A. It was another person with the A. I'm sorry, I don't want to say names.
Sure.
So it might get confusing. So I had the A part right. And then I said, did this happen? She's like, yeah, that happened, but I wasn't upset about it. They were just joking. So maybe I got it wrong. But yeah, I talked to them both, and they both said that thing had happened, and I saw it.
Well, you know what, too? That might have been a weird, uncomfortable. I know that sounds weird, but I would go with your interpretation that she was more uncomfortable. I think maybe she didn't want to admit that or something. Who wants?
That's what I think too. And I was not going to force her to be like, oh, like, no, I know you were not, you know? So I was like, oh, okay, you know, I was wrong, you know?
Yeah, that feels, that's, I totally, you know what's interesting? Did this coworker have boundary issues? I know that's a weird, like
the one that I got into.
Yes, I wonder how that happened so fast.
I know. I don't know. She was really open, so maybe that's why.
Maybe that's
maybe she didn't have really good proper boundaries. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
But also too, it's not, and that's the thing too that, you know, people could feel like they could get possessed. Like there would be no way for anybody to take over your body and like have control of it. Or like, for me to stay in there forever, for somebody to like, that's not even at all possible, you know?
You know, that explains something that I saw of a magician trying to get in someone else's body one time when I was doing a reading.
And they couldn't get in?
I think this was someone using black magic, and they were trying to do more than just get in. And and I think I actually feel like it's an aware consciousness or something, or it's almost like remote viewing.
Yeah, totally. I think so too. The astraling for sure I think it's very similar to remote viewing.
This is a strange question, but did you have anybody you could tell about your experience? Because when you have something that like freaky and fun and exciting, you have to have somebody to tell. I'm sorry, you need a woo-woo friend.
I know. So I don't have too many woo-woo friends, but my fiance, he's really open. He knows about me, so I can tell him all my crazy stuff.
That's good. Okay, good. You have some sort of backup system. Okay, so at this point, whatever happened, did you learn to control it where you could go wherever you wanted? Because I did have that skill in my dreams a while ago. Did you? Is that were you able to astral project wherever you wanted?
Yeah. So I'm not 100% in fully control yet. No. And that's where it goes to, like, you can have different types of lucidity. You can have like 100% lucidity and know exactly you're having an OB, and you can have like kind of low lucidity where like it feels kind of dreamlike. But anyway, so I can control a little bit, and then sometimes I may get distracted. And then other times it's just like stuff's kind of just happening and I'm just going along for the ride and then just enjoying the ride, you know.
Wow.
But with more practice, that's where you can get more control.
So, when you're just going along with the flow, is it?
Mhm.
Are you seeing another timeline? Are you seeing somebody else's life? Are you still in the grocery store? What's happening?
So that one, after the grocery store, that one ended. I came back to my body. Like another time. So about maybe a week ago, I was watching a bar fight on Earth. Yeah, and then that happened. Something like came in front of my face and started blocking me.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that one's really interesting. I could talk about that later because that's happened a few times, and I've learned how to get past that. And then, I'll tell you one. So I'll tell you this one. And this one, I ended up going to, I think, another world or another dimension. It was really amazing. I'll share this experience with you. So I was, let me tell you the whole thing. So I was working on my energy before bed, doing the V-Light technique, having my heartbeat my energy go up and down. Then all of a sudden I heard a beat start going. It was an old 90s rap song beat. It was like, doom, doom, doom. I just heard the beat. Then my heart started matching the beat and it was going faster and faster and faster. And I also noticed like a hand on my heart. And at the time, it's going to be crazy. I thought it was my fiance's hand on my heart. But later I realized that's not possible because I have pillows under my neck. So he couldn't have his arm under me and have his hand on my heart. So I think it was my guides that had their hand on my heart that was getting my heart to go faster. And I even was like, oh my God, does he not feel how my fast is going? Like, you know, is she going to have a heart attack? Mm-hmm. But it wasn't him. So anyways, they helped me have my heartbeat go faster and I popped out of my body. And then the first thing that I saw was these kind of negative astral beings. It was crazy. They looked like dinosaurs and crocodiles and like really cartoonish. So I don't know if they were fae or what, but so I seen these like negative beings and they were in front of me and blocking me from going anywhere. And it was like hundreds, and they can't touch you, they can't hurt you, nothing can happen. The most they can do is scare you and get in front of your face and like kind of freak you out. So they were coming and just getting in front of my face and getting in front of my face. And I was getting annoyed. And I was like, okay, I love you. Like, what do I do? That wasn't doing anything. I was like, okay, God loves you. That wasn't doing anything. So I think my spirit guides told me, because I didn't know this, they said, bring your light out. I didn't even know I had a light in me. And I brought this light that was like, I want to say around the top of my stomach, the bottom of my heart, and just made it big. And it was just a big flash of light. And my light flashed huge, and those negative beings were gone.
Yeah. And do you remember, did it come from your solar plexus?
Yes, it was like the top of my stomach, almost maybe in the heart area. So I'm like, I have my hand on the top of my stomach right now. It came from there.
Everybody remember that solar plexus when you're even when you're around. That's interesting that you got that message. Well, to me it rings accurate because solar plexus is the light you want to come out and cover you, that yellow or that area. So that's interesting. So you weren't afraid, but you knew these were not positive beings, or they may have been neutral, but they weren't. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, they may have been neutral. And that's the thing too that my spirit guides have said, that like it could be my negativity showing itself outside of me, or it could be my fear as a human that I need to transcend the fear of what is different. Just because they're different doesn't mean they're bad.
Yeah, I always say, because I think that's why we don't see everything as like, if we knew what it all looked like, we'd be pretty freaked out. If we didn't know what dogs looked like and someone was like, they got a long nose and there's sharp teeth, we would all be like, what? Who wants that? No one wants that.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Totally. So, and that's still something that I have to face with today, that things that look a little different, they do kind of scare me, but I need to work on that and get over that. So
I
pulled
think
my
we
bike.
all need to work on that, because if the aliens are coming, it's going to be hard.
I know, yeah. And so that's why it's good to practice right now. And then you can meet them in the OBE and theta, you know?
Wow.
And they like, so that's the ones that I think that helped me with my heart. They had their hand on my heart. So, and told me, raise your light. So they're the ones who told me this. So my light came out, they were gone. I was in this beautiful, like marble, like ancient being. And, in astral, you don't have to speak. It's like telepathic. So I said, I want to see more. So it took me, I feel my astral body being pulled. It took me to this beautiful blue forest, like not how our forests are green. Like it is a blue forest. It was so gorgeous. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It was different shades of blue, a little bit of green, like aqua, like a blue forest. It was crazy. And I was seeing, people and stuff. And then anyways, this is where I think I went to a different dimension. So I saw a group of people. And this is the crazy part too. So they look like regular people, but have you ever seen the Disney movie Atlantis?
No.
Okay, so the people in Atlantis, they have this Native American face paint on their faces, but the face paint glows. So the people in this world had that face paint on them, like native face paint, but it was glowing. It was so beautiful.
Oh.
And it was so crazy. It was a girl. She was holding the baby. And then it was a boy next to them. And then there was like a whole group of people, and they were all looking up at the girl with the baby. And I was like, okay. And then I also saw in the group, it was a crazy thing. There was this boy, and I call him the golden boy because he looked like a beautiful brown golden color, but he was glowing golden. And he had these like almost balls all around his body. They weren't floating. They were kind of stationary, but they were all like one around in front of his face, one in front of his arm, one in front of his stomach, like all around him. And those bubbles were throwing more gold light onto him. So he was just like, I know, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. So he just had all this golden light all over him. And nobody was looking at him different. Nobody was treating him different. He was again looking at the girl with the baby. They were all smiling and all happy. And then the girl with the baby looks at me, and she just says one thing. She says, "We are the nada." And then, boom, I'm yanked back to my body. And I woke up. I was like, oh my God. I woke up. I started writing all this down. I did this. I saw this. I saw this. I did this. I got this. Like, I had to write everything down. But,
did you ever look up the nada? I guess NADA? Was that how you'd say it? Like nothing?
Yes. Yeah. I tried looking them up. I didn't find anything. So even on my YouTube, I asked people, I was like, has anybody heard of this? And as of yet, I haven't heard anybody that knows anything about them. I would love to learn where it is or where it went, you know?
I know. I wonder if that, hang on, I'm going to plug in something while we're talking. I wonder if that is I'm going to put in the nada alien. I'm sure you've done this, but I wonder if that's a type of alien.
And that's the thing too, because I know whoever worked on Atlantis had to have seen it, because the cartoons, the face paint, it wasn't the same color, but that face paint was glowing. So I feel like they got the idea from them.
Well,
you know?
Yeah. Or maybe that was an inspiration from them, and they, probably the guy writing is like, I don't believe any of that. And yet he's getting messages, he or she is getting messages, already.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and the face painting looked just like that. It was so cool. That was one of the really cool experiences too.
Wow.
So that one, I wasn't really in control. I was, kind of following along, but it was amazing, amazing.
So sometimes people do address you in these.
Yes. That's when also you could talk to your spirit guides. You could ask questions about your life program, whatever. You could speak to different, aliens and stuff. You could be around other people that are OBEing and astraling. It's busy.
It's busy.
It's like different universes all connected.
Okay, I was hoping we're at the 20-minute mark. I have to stop for my ad, but I don't even know if we're going to get to NDEs because I'm so fascinated with this. All right, hold on one second. We'll be right back, folks.
Psychic teas, spelled with a Z, are scrumptious herbal combinations with antiviral and anti-inflammatory properties. Without sugar or caffeine, psychic teas won't mess with any medications and are designed by a naturopathic doctor. Many testify to positive results. Detox chakras and psychic tea blends enable bodily functions with superior efficacy, while more love and champagne blends support awareness of subtle joy and bliss. The CBD's teas are magical with myriad healing effects. There are 20 servings per package. A little dab'll do ya, and you can drink it hot or cold. Psychic teas taste so good. Replace coffee, use as a bedtime ritual, or even flavor a meal or dessert. The people behind the product are righteous and kind. Psychic teas will blow your mind. Totally worth the investment. PsychicTeas.com.
Okay, so a few more questions about these, and then let's try and cover NDEs, just because, I feel like, well, we'll get to that in a second. So, have you ever tried, I know it must be hard to find someone that can astral project also, but have you ever tried to meet someone there? Like, hey, let's both try it and we'll meet in the same place, or no?
Yeah. So I have one other friend. He's we kind of know each other, and we met through CE5. And I told him about the OBE, and he's learning on his own. And he finally had his first ever astral experience a couple weeks ago. Wow. So once we both get more proficient too, we definitely plan on going. Awesome. Together.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. So, but you don't have could you, because I used to be able to do this in my dreams, could you say, tonight I want to astral project and go to the Met or wherever you want to go? I want to go to the show. Wow.
Absolutely. Totally. Yeah. Have that intention. And that's the thing too. You don't just have to go to different dimensions and stuff. You can go to your mom's house. You can go to your grandma's house. And that's the thing where people have experiences and they go and they're like, hey, were you wearing blue pajamas last night? And they're like, yeah, how did you know I was wearing blue pajamas last night?
Wow. That's a weird, I know somebody would bring up an ethical question with that, which I'm sure there is one.
Yeah, but, I know.
But I don't, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that. So I shouldn't even bring it up.
So, okay, maybe you don't have to go to their bedroom, but like you can go to like their work or your house, or like you want to go to the Met or you want to go to Paris or something, you can go wherever you want. And that's one thing I would like to do. I haven't as of yet traveled somewhere. I would love to. The only thing that I see, that one time I saw a bar fight. I don't know what city I was in. I don't know where, but I was watching a bar fight. I was watching some guys fight outside.
And you got blocked on that one.
I did. I got blocked by another negative being coming in front of my face. And at that time, I wasn't as lucid, so I didn't think to do the light thing. So I think I just came back to my body and was just like, okay, bye,
Wow, that's interesting. And it was definitely people, right? I know that's a word.
Yes, it was people. It was about, I want to say 6 guys. 2 of them were fighting, and then, the friends on the side were like trying to pull them apart and like, like a fight, like a regular kind of fight.
Like, wow, that's
that
is interesting that you just pop up in another place.
Yes.
Wow.
And can I share another experience with you?
Please really do.
Cool. Okay. All right. So this one was I want to say about a month and a half ago. I was calling also, so I'm working, always doing my techniques first. Then I started the C5 techniques where you call out to the aliens, your spirit guides, and say, if it's safe for you to do so, can you come down? But I had it with the intention of, I would like to open my pineal gland. I would like to decalcify my pineal gland if you guys can help me. So, I'm working on that, on my energy. I leave my body, and this is where I feel them. So there's 3 of them in my room. There's one to my left. There's one in front of him. Or no, one to my right, one in front of him on the right, and then one to my left. So I feel these energies, and then I do feel them. They started working on my pineal gland, like energy to my pineal gland, and it's like flicking and vibrating and going off. So I'm going to tell you for sure, I got scared. I started feeling these energies. I was out of my body. I started feeling these energies in my pineal gland. I got scared. I went straight back to my body. And this is where I was like upset with myself. I was like, hey, you call these people, like they're doing what you ask. And then I could sense them. They don't get frustrated. They understand. But they were telling me too, like, we're doing what you asked. We're here because you asked us to come. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, let's work on my energy again. Let's get back out. So I worked on my energy. I got back out. And they did. They started working on my pineal gland. It felt like they had hooked up electricity to it. That's what it felt like. I'm sure it was not that, but it felt like it was going off in my pineal gland in the middle of my brain. Like it was like really vibrating really strongly. Then I also felt like a tightness in my face. It felt so crazy. And then I also started feeling, at the same time, I'm telling myself, don't freak out because I'm still a little bit scared. So I'm talking to myself, don't freak out. Then they start working on my whole body. Like I'm starting to feel energy in my leg and my stomach over here. And I was almost kind of laughing, thinking like, oh my God, I feel like I'm getting a tune-up, like a car tune-up, you know? And they told me, we're recalibrating your bodies. So not just me, they said your bodies. So I think they're doing it to everybody. We're recalibrating your bodies. I don't know what that means or what it's for, but that's what they told me.
Well, that is probably a lot. I don't know when we're going to know or totally understand exactly what's going on right now. And some people that get COVID, I think it's their recalibration.
Yeah, totally.
And so, in that, yes, I know it's terrible to be sick and something, but I think some people are getting their adjustments through COVID. So, which makes it even more fascinating and strange and whatever. But that's really, that's great that you can have work done. Could they do a facelift?
It felt like, I mean, I've never had a facelift, but it felt like that. Like my face was so tight. I was like, what is this? What Botox feels like?
Yes, that probably it is. You know what? It is interesting too, where we carry trauma or, stuff like that. I carry a lot in my jaw. I just recently found that out too. Yeah. But wow. All right. So
jaw and hips too.
Yes.
People carry a lot.
That's what I keep hearing, hips too. There's one more question, and then I want to talk about NDEs for a little bit. And especially, I'm so fascinated by negative NDEs. But, so when you're astro projecting, they're working on you. It's like that feeling I had where you're not aware of your body, so you're not in your body, but is it really a different sensation like when you're dreaming? Like when you're dreaming and you're in your dream, it's an awareness. Is it like that?
No, it's because I've had lucid dreams, but even still, to me, a dream is a dream. And that's another cool thing. If you know you're lucid dreaming, you can leave to an astral. Just say, I want to see reality, and you will leave the dream and go to the astral. But anything. So for me, astraling is way 1,000 times more real than a dream.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's great.
Okay. That's just me, though. Even to a lucid dream, even when I have lucid dreams, too, astraling is much, much more real.
I want to start having more lucid dreams. Everything. Well, I just have to, like, this whole year, like, first of all, doing that much tarot reading and then, being that tired, the weirdness of COVID, all that's going on in the planet, the strange, the Schumann resonances, all these things. I kept pretty much just sleeping like the dead or waking up every hour, one of the two. Which I feel like is universal, not right now, not necessarily personal. Everybody's having that. So I always found NDEs to be inspiring. Would you say, like, doesn't it make you believe in stuff, believe in the big picture?
Yeah, and I think that NDEs got me into the OVA astral experience because I love listening to podcasts like yours too, and you hear tons of NDE stories. So I think that kind of got me into it too. Like, okay, I want to experience this.
Even the negative NDEs, I think, interest me, and they don't scare me. I remember this one lady telling about a negative one on the radio show. And she said she ended up in what she said looked like what we call hell. So it was like the whole picture. But she said everybody that was being tortured or whatever didn't look up. And if they had just looked up, they would have seen they could have left. They could have walked out. And it was...
I think we listened to maybe the same one, because I was about to say that too, that, well, I don't want to interrupt you, but that people in hell could leave if they wanted to, but that they're kind of punishing themselves. But continue. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's exactly it. In fact, one of my favorite movies is called What Dreams May Come.
Oh yeah, such a good movie,
isn't it? And no one really likes it, but I mean, I'm glad someone else likes it. But the whole thing, it's really a movie about suicide and people punishing themselves. And that's what and I mean, there's obviously, you know, I don't know, that gets into the much deeper conversation of like, you know, evil beings are doing God's work by either tempting or there's a whole, you know, that's a whole nother thing.
I know. And for me too, because I came from a Christianity background. So, like all this before, I swear I thought all this stuff was like evil. You know, I was raised to think that. And that's where like it changes. And like, so I'm not going to lie, that stuff still kind of scares me because I come from that background and it was so pumped into my head that, you know, if you're not, don't do these things, this is where you're going to go. And of course, I do believe different things now. I believe, you know, all this, I see it, I know it's true, and like reincarnation. But, anyways, I don't know where I was getting at that, but...
No, I get it. I still have those, I call it a stoppage. It's like a stoppage thought where you're like, you know, because it's not that it's all good. I mean, it all is a lesson and this and that, but it's not all good. Like, there's some bad things out there.
Yeah. And that's where it goes, like, you don't want to be all good either. You want to have a balance. You know, you want to be more in the gray and not think of so much as like things as negative or positive, you know, like, I don't know. That's kind of where.
No, you're right. That's that I don't know why everything's referring to tarot, but that's why gray is a powerful, you know, when they use black and white, that's issues that are black and white, and gray is where wisdom comes from. That's why the most of the hermit card is gray. Because it's you know, it's always, there's a mid ground. That's what we forget. Yeah. And boy, does the country need to know that right now, that there's a mid ground. I know. I swear. That's something we really all need to learn and practice. Yeah. Right now. Yeah. It would change so much. It would help so much, I think. Yes. What do you think, what are some other of your favorite NDEs or ones that really meant something to you when you read them?
When I read them or heard of them?
Or heard of them, anyway.
Those, I mean, I guess I kind of always remember the bad ones because they scare me, you know, right. The ones where they like go to hell or they get taken by these beings and like taken down, like those ones always scare me and stuff. There was one of those that really stayed with me. In fact, this guy wrote a book, and I actually bought the book for my dad, who's kind of an agnostic. And I was like, just remember, Dad, if you're down there, this is how kind I am to my dad. How highly I think of my dad. Dad, if you're in hell, just remember to look up. Yeah, just look up. Just look up.
Say a little prayer. Look up something.
Look up. Yeah. No, yeah, so I remember those. I don't know. I know there's other good ones too. But that's what basically an NDE is too. It's an out of body experience. And that's how most people, if they don't practice it or train for it, I mean, that's where they learn from it, you know, is it's called something. Where it just you die or get hurt and you get shoved out of your body and you're having an OBE experience or NDE experience.
Yeah, that, you know, I don't know the other name for that, but I do find it, I always notice too, I can almost tell in readings when someone has had one because their vibration is almost like an immediate upgrade.
Oh, yeah, that's so cool. Like they're almost half already out of this world a little bit, you know?
Yes, and they carry up that higher vibration. I've never known anyone to come back with a lower, and sometimes people are like, I don't really remember, and I'm like, It's there. You may not.
Yeah.
It may have been too much for your consciousness. I remember I heard of one experience, and this woman was in a car crash, and all the cars behind her were stopped because she got hit on the freeway. She pops out of her body, and she goes 3 cars back, and because she sees a light. And it's literally a woman praying for her, like, God, please help whoever was in the front car.
Yeah.
Looks at the license plate months later after she's fixed up and back in her body, finds the woman, finds her name from the DMV.
From the license plate.
Yes, from the license plate, and goes and thanks her.
Wow.
Which, even I underestimate sometimes when you're sending, I get that, especially with politics, we're all done with thoughts and prayers, but there really is something about thoughts and prayers, not necessarily when you say it on Facebook, but in real life. Like I'll sit with someone who for a few minutes with someone sick, or like my friend's dog, and just cover them in light. And it really does something. But that was she was kind of like, yeah, that's the woman that was praying for me. So when you see a car accident, everybody throw them a ball of light. That's what I throw balls of lights around. Because they can use it.
Yes, it's so true. The same too for prayer is so strong. And I guess that's why we're supposed to pray over like your food and like your water, because like it like collects that, I don't know what it is. Like, I guess you could say vibration for everything, but like, and that way you're taking that into your food, like you're taking that positive, or just how strong it is just praying, like you said, for other people, it really is powerful. I'm the same too. I forget. Sometimes I guess you don't think like, oh, I'm just praying. Is it really doing anything? But no, it's really powerful.
You know what else? It's kind of a self-esteem thing, because if you understand how powerful you are, you wouldn't hesitate to. I do that sometimes when I'm mad at someone. I'll be like, Karen, just send them good energy. Just send them love, and then go away. Because you know what I mean? Like, I try to. I don't know how successful, and I hope I'm not sending something yucky.
I know.
I'm sending passive aggressive blessings.
Even talking bad about somebody is like, I heard, like almost like a psychic attacking them. You're sending them negative energy by talking bad about them. And I know I'm not perfect. I gossip sometimes too, but like I know I need to work on that too. But yeah,
well, I think everyone does, because first of all, we are in a strange society like that. Like it makes me, I don't want to hear about celebrities. I don't want to, because 2 things, they're overblown, and then they're over beat up. And I can't stand it. I think I might have made a few jokes about a few of them, and a few, like, I think the Kardashians love it either way. I think there's some people out there, but I don't want to be a part of that network. And I think we live in a society where gossip is so easy that we don't even recognize it sometimes.
Yeah, totally.
And that is the hardest one.
Yeah, I know. I do. I struggle. I've gotten a lot better than what I used to after learning about like what I'm actually doing and the energies I'm sending out. But no, I saw like yesterday, I was talking about somebody, my friends. So yeah, like, but at least we're aware of it, and being aware that way now you can change. Because before, when I was not aware that, hey, me talking bad about people is like psychically attacking them negatively, I didn't know I was really hurting people. But now that I'm more aware, and I can try to stay on top of myself more. Yeah,
it's, we're here to learn.
Exactly.
And you know what else? This is another huge topic though, because I have a friend that says there's venting and there's gossiping. So if you need to vent, she's always like, you come to me, I'll help you vent and get it out of your system. Gossiping is when you tell everyone or something. I'm sure there's a mid ground there. I'm not Jesus. I can't love everyone. I'll try. My friend Ton Simmons has the best joke about, he says, we're supposed to love everyone. Well, have you met everyone? They're very hard to love.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I know. And then that's where it goes back to like the people that you don't like is because it's something inside of you that you don't like, you know? So you need to love yourself fully so then you can love other people for the things about you that you don't like. You know, it's really crazy.
Yes, and I'm sure there's a line somewhere like maybe Hitler's neighbors should have been like, we're not so good with that guy. He seems like he could cause some problems.
He's a major gossiper. He's always talking bad about somebody.
He's always saying something bad about some group of people.
I know.
Yes, which by the way, I always feel like Hitler is our standard measurement of what not to be.
Yes.
Diane, I love talking to you, my dear. I can't wait to get another massage from you.
Yeah.
And tell everyone where to find you. I'll put it in the show notes. Folks on YouTube, again, I apologize. I can't seem to I don't know how to get from the server to get the show notes into YouTube. So that's on me, but tell everybody where they can find you. A, if they need a massage. B, if they want to see your YouTube channel, hit us.
Yeah. Okay. So, Instagram is esoteric explorers, esoteric_explorers. You can for sure message me there for, massage. And then I have my YouTube channel, which is esoteric explorers. It's the first little bubble that should pop up. It's purple. And that one, I break down tons of esoteric books. So not just the OBEs, I break them down chapter by chapter. And then also I'm thinking about starting a Patreon too, where if you want to learn the OBEs, like there was so much information that we could have gone over and techniques and just so much. If you want to learn one-on-one how to OBE and get your energy or get in contact with your guides, learn about your life program, I think that's what my Patreon is going to be.
Wow.
And hopefully that'll be Esoteric Explorers. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about doing. But YouTube Esoteric Explorers and Instagram Esoteric Explorers, you can message me.
And there you can probably find where, if you put up that Patreon, there'll be a connection or a link or something.
Yes. Well, as soon as I get my Patreon going up, I'll put it to YouTube and I'll put it to Instagram so people can follow me.
Fantastic. All right, Diane, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Martinez.
Martinez, that's right. I can't even roll my R's.
My ex used to get mad when I couldn't roll my R's, so I would just make him mad. I'd just go, yee, and he'd laugh. I just go, yee, like I'm not even trying. All right, everybody. I hope you're having a great summer. I will see you next week. Thanks to Mike at Uno Rising Media, and bye, everybody.